Feeling lonely sometimes is a good thing. It makes us appreciate the care and kindness we receive from our loved ones. So, that is a profound statement. But what about those who feel lonely even when they are showered with the kindness from their loved ones? I'm talking about this one post by a Reddit user who put it out on social media platform that had thousands commenting, resonating with his sentiment.
Working in a high-tech company, drawing a handsome salary is a dream come true for every professional who comes to the city of Bengaluru. Welcome to India Today Sosouth. I'm Sarah Fuzzle. Most of whom are migrants who leave behind their homes in different cities to come and pursue a better future here. But behind this 9-to-5 grind, there's more than what just appears to the eye. How many of you feel lonely in the city of Bangalore?
But is this a recent phenomenon? Has this concept grown with Bengaluru turning into an IT capital with more opportunities to offer?
Bangalore, people are always hustling. You can have a conversation about crypto at any time of the day and stuff, right? When Chennai, it's not much. Especially at least where I live, it's very calm down and there's nothing much to talk about. So in that scenario, I would say, yeah, even despite having so many people around, there is a bit of disconnect because you might not gel with everybody you meet, right?
Even though you stay in Bangalore, you stay with your parents, you have all your friends around, there are times when people get busy with their own lives, and at times when you need someone to talk to, you normally don't get those kind of people, right? And the post you were talking about, I did read that someone who was working in a very big organization decided to drive an auto or maybe drive a Rapido just to get rid of the loneliness. And yes, I have actually experienced that a couple of times, because there are days where you working so hard and with the kind of competition and with the kind of market situation which is running right now, people get scared as to when they might lose their jobs, right? So you either trying to be the best of whatever you're doing and also constantly upgrade yourself for the changes that is coming your way. So once you're done with all that and you raise your head up, the world is asleep.
To say that feeling alone means you're isolated physically.
Right.
You're in this physical space, you're living in this apartment and you live alone. While feeling lonely is, I have a social circle, I have family, I have friends, I am in a group sitting there, and yet I'm feeling alone. I think there's a clear demarcation here. It looks lovely on the outside when we're saying that, hey, we have this dream job, we're working in this company, we have these bunch of friends we hang out on the weekend. But we know in reality that when they come back in here as clients, we know what they're actually going through. And what they're going through is a lot of stress, anxiety, self-doubt, loneliness, struggles in their relationships, going back into their childhood and understanding their attachment with their parents. We see that loneliness can increase.
We're here at a very popular location in the city of Bengaluru with some really young professionals out here, and we're going to take a small EQ test with them. Let's see how connected to this city of Namma Bengaluru do they feel. So guys, are you all ready? Yeah! How many of y'all feel that Bangalore can make you feel so much of stress, tension, anxiety and all the negative emotions possible? Okay, one person. How many of y'all feel that as a young working professional in the city of Bangalore, it can get boring sometimes. You might find yourself lost. Okay, how many of y'all have felt lonely being with friends in Bangalore? Being in a circle, you're sitting with people, but still you're like, something's missing. Okay, all right. My last question to y'all. How many of y'all feel that, how many of y'all like your job? All of y'all like your job. Do you all like your schedule of your job? Okay with the timings of your job? Okay with the salaries that your job pays you? So while these young professionals and techies did not have much to complain about the city of Bengaluru, the only worrying factors was a feeling of disconnect, feeling lost and nobody to listen to their problems, which even our mental health professionals cited too.
Definitely, there are days, even though you might feel like you're earning enough and you have all the time and you've planned everything to the Excel sheet, but you still kind of get lost.
There was one particular instance, like during this year's New Year time, right? I had plans to go somewhere, but that plan fell through, and I think I was just left with myself. And there's no one around. Everybody had their own plan. So that time I felt a bit okay. It would have been better if I had gone somewhere, and I generally don't tend to like crowds much, so I didn't want to be in Church Street and get stuck in like traffic for 2-3 hours. So I think that is one period of time where I was like, sort of lonely in my flat, like, just staying all alone.
Maybe that could also have been the reason why an NRI is thinking of moving to Kochi instead of Bengaluru when he plans to return to India. But is Bengaluru, the city, really to blame?
Definitely not. It's not the city or the name of the city that's we're focusing on here. What we would like to probably look at here is what is the choice that you're making?
Yeah.
Now, if I'm going to stay in a more slow-paced life, which has more work-life balance, which doesn't have the need for transport and commute, of course, life is going to be so much more slower, right? But you're making this choice where you want to achieve, you want to succeed, you want to move forward, and that comes, I think, with a consequence, right?
Yeah.
And probably that is a lot of what we're talking about. Loneliness is this feeling of not being belonged, right?
Yeah.
So where would you feel belonged is a question that you need to ask yourself, and that has very little to do with whether you're Bangalore, Mumbai, but what makes you feel belonged is an important question that you need to ask yourself.
For anybody who plans to move to Bangalore, I think you won't find what vibe we have here anywhere else, right? Vibe, when I say vibe, it could be anything. It has something for everybody, right? If you're a startup enthusiast, you will find all people startup. If you have crypto, you'll find that as well. If you're into parties, you'll find that as well. So it is a city for everybody.
To be very honest, being a Bangalorean, yes, I do feel connected to the city, but it is not what it used to be. So I was born up and I was raised in SR Nagar, the old Bangalore, central Bangalore, right? And right now you have the double road flyover over there. I remember the days where there used to be a canopy of trees, which you could see all the way towards Lal Bagh. And right now all you see is just smoke and traffic. That's it. And that is a scene in almost the whole of Bangalore.
But tech or IT companies also offer assistive programs for their employees, where they believe little perks create a difference.
So it could be something as simple as pizza and beer and Pictionary in the evening for a couple of hours after the long day's work on a Friday or something of the sort. We also make it a point to take offsites every couple of months, essentially twice to thrice a year. We take our people somewhere to a destination where they can simply relax for a duration of 2 days, 2.5 days, and I'm going to allow them to actually bond with the team so that they can unwind with the team. Like more often than not, these guys are spending 8-9 hours of their day together. It is also imperative that they're able to unwind with the same people as much as that they are able to work with them. Otherwise, the tension can be quite thick.
I'd like to divide that into 3 segments. Why someone comes to us, either for themselves, for their relationships, or their career concerns, right? Now, they feel very sorted in terms of their career. They're doing a good job, they're getting these heavy salaries, they're getting promotions, hybrid models have also started. But there are, of course, also challenges on the other side where someone may want to talk about learning how to deal with climbing up the ladder, building my own identity, role confusions, improving the team dynamic, and that's the career aspect of it. Largely, 2 things that people come up with is for themselves and their relationships. And this is absolutely the phase of our life where we're questioning, who are our real friends? Who are the real people in my life? Who can I count on? What is a meaningful relationship? Probably in the younger days, it was more about having fun, teasing each other, pleasant days, lighter days, not a lot of emotions. But today we're looking at meaningful relationships, right? And if we're not able to form those secure relationships, I do believe that it impacts ourselves and our performance in our career.
But is this feeling of loneliness mutual amongst men and women?
Men also, whether they are married, whether they are single, whether they are currently within live-in relationships and so on, there is a lot more of reported research and even papers in regards with that there is very prominent concerns in regards with feeling lonely and how it may also affect not only their work, their performance, their productivity, but also straining their relationships, their responsibilities and roles even at home. Now, almost about 35 to 40% of women do not only experience but also experience more further manifestations of within different areas due to the feeling of loneliness, whereas when it comes to men, we do notice about 25 to 30% of men, only the ones that have been reported and studied. Obviously, we notice that these are the statistics that men do not only experience but also face concerns with sense of belongingness and loneliness as well.
It starts with "Tu ladka hai, don't cry."
Yeah.
Come on, man, you'll get over this.
Right.
Hey, just have a drink and you're going to be absolutely fine. Come, we'll go have a smoke. Right? That's the kind of common coping methods that we've often heard from men, which is very unfortunate. How little do we in our system sit them down and say, "Hey, actually tell me how you're feeling"? How many of us do we hear our guy friends actually confiding with each other? I do believe that a lot of men confide more with women, their best friends, probably their partners. Maybe they know about it much better than otherwise.
We can definitely agree upon is the fact that it's looked down upon when a man who is supposed to take responsibilities of family, working, getting your career straight, having a house, having a car, by the time that they are 28, 29, does add to a lot of less scope for them to talk about their feelings, because all they have to do is just focus on the current concern that is there, and that is to establish themselves. The moment that happens, we see that in their earlier days of their marriage is where they start opening up about their feelings as well as their difficulty and burnout, because the point of time that they're about 32, 35, they've reached that point of that burnout, as well as having, if they have any offspring by then, again they're now able to relate and empathize to their child, and now they want to provide that perfect life for their child. So it becomes difficult for them to open up, especially in the early days, because nobody is used to it. Even if they are opening up, there's no support, and the only people that they can open up to is a relationship. If that's working out, then great. If not, then there is nobody else that they can find themselves.
While the feeling of loneliness resonated with several young professionals regardless of gender, a striking factor that is dangerously intensifying the emotion is situationship.
All of our clients, let's say at least 60% of our clientele is IT professionals, right?
Okay.
And what are we talking about again? 25 to 35 years of age, and most of them come in with the same concern, right? I've been on this dating app, I can't find someone genuine. They do probably want to find meaningful connections, but the lack of it is leading to just swiping left and right? And that's leading or adding on to the already existing concern, and that is loneliness, right? It increases your self-doubt. It leads to disparity in your emotional stability. You have questions about, does somebody love me? Am I not lovable? Am I not good enough? And that definitely leads to me wanting to isolate and distance myself. So what is the again easier route? I just get into hookups and situationships.
While the IT Hub offers opportunities galore for young professionals and techies to come and pursue a career in the city of Bengaluru, the feeling of leading a lonely life is owing to several factors. The feeling of disconnect from the city, lack of stable relationships, commitment hiccups, and of course the rat race. Now, while the feeling of loneliness is mutual for both male and female young professionals and techies, according to statistics, male techies tend to feel more lonely, owing to the fact that societal norms and perceptions don't allow them to freely express themselves. Now, what do you, as a techie or a young professional working in the city, feel? If you feel lonely, if you feel lost or anything more, do seek professional help. You can also talk to the team of mental health experts who have spoken in our story, the details of which we will share in our description. I am Sarah Fazil, reporting with camera person Meera Nair for India Today So South.